The NATO military alliance is moving to step up defense in the Arctic. This is a response to tensions between the Trump administration and European allies over Greenland. The spokesperson for NATO's Supreme Allied Commander in Europe has confirmed to CBS News that planning is underway for an enhanced vigilance activity called Arctic Sentry to further strengthen NATO's posture in the Arctic and there in the high north. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams recently got a close-up look at NATO exercises off the coast of Norway. And Holly joins us now live from that nation. Holly, good morning. Tell us about these exercises, what you got to see, and really the significance for people here in the U.S.
Good morning, Errol. Well, we were invited to see a NATO military exercise here in Europe's high north. The exercise is actually called Arctic Dolphin, and it involves several of America's NATO allies, including Norway, Spain, Germany and France. The exercise is taking place just off Norway's coast over there in a stretch of water that is crucial strategically. It's sometimes called the gateway to the Arctic, and it connects Russia and its northern fleet, including its nuclear-armed submarines, with the North Atlantic and North America. So if Russia ever targeted the US with those nuclear subs, that is where NATO would try to stop them. So to be clear, this exercise is about some of America's NATO allies practicing in part to defend the US. Now, President Trump has recently been quite critical of Spain, one of America's NATO allies, saying that it's not loyal to NATO because its military spending is lagging. But during the exercise, we were on board a Spanish warship around 1,500 miles from its home base. And the admiral on board told us, in fact, he was adamant that Spain is loyal to NATO and committed to all of its NATO allies.
Such an interesting detail, Holly, and we know that President Trump's pursuit of Greenland so far has been in rhetoric. It's been only through his language. But has that had an impact on the NATO alliance as far as you've been able to see?
Well, President Trump has repeatedly said that the US needs to take over Greenland, and his justification has been about security, and in particular Russia. Greenland, of course, is an autonomous part of Denmark, which is one of America's NATO allies. And last month, President Trump threatened to impose tariffs on several of America's NATO allies if they didn't go along with his wishes. That, of course, sparked enormous anger, and Trump has since backtracked on the tariffs. But some here in Europe say that the whole episode has really eroded their trust in the US as an ally. During the exercise, we were speaking to Commander Sture Haugen, who is the commander of the Norwegian fleet. Now, he's a military man. He didn't want to talk about politics, but Errol, he did say this. He said, no one country can defend against the Russian threat by itself. And he said what is needed is alliances, strong alliances to deter Russia.
All right, Holly Williams, live for us in Norway. Holly, thank you.